Hello and welcome to another episode of Overlord Explained. I'm Shergog, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at the awesome illustrations of Overlord and why they are, at least in my opinion, a cut above the rest. But before we're going to do so, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, as well as all users of the YouTube thanks function who made one-time donations. And now with that said, let's get to the actual topic at hand. Illustrations of characters and particularly epic or interesting scenes in light novels are not uncommon, like in Mushoku Tensei or in Konosuba. And this is something I'm very grateful for. On one hand, it's great to know more about the characters and scenes you're actually reading about, especially in long series. I mean, Mushoku Tensei has like 26 volumes, Overlord is said to have 18 volumes, and Konosuba ended after 17 volumes. So it's really helpful to get back into the actual series, especially when you haven't read any of the volumes in months. And honestly, I wish George R. R. Martin would do something similar with his A Song of Ice and Fire book series, but that's a different topic. Now, many of the novels are drawn in the typical and very aesthetic anime style, and don't get me wrong, they look fantastic, no doubt about it. However, Sobin, the illustrator of the Overlord series, takes these illustrations to a whole new level. The artwork appears to be a blend of European historical painting and illustrations combined with the typical anime look, and in my opinion this combination elevates Sobin's pictures even further. And these illustrations alone are such a unique feature of the Overlord novels, since I have not seen any other series, at least not in my knowledge, that achieved this level of quality in the light novel department. Furthermore, these illustrations in the novels wonderfully capture the delightfully dark atmosphere that one experiences while reading the novels, which I greatly appreciate. The world of Overlord is, at times, very cruel, dark and unforgiving, and Sobin's drawings wonderfully convey and encapsulate all of this. Now let me start my little art analysis with the cover of Volume 5. The image portrays a seemingly mundane scene, where Sebastian is gathering information in the Magician's Guild, and acquires knowledge about newly invented spells. However, the entire atmosphere this image creates is simply breathtaking. You can immediately sense that it's an epic fantasy setting, and that there's so much attention to detail in every single element of it. From the glowing chandelier, to the other grim-looking customers and magicians in the guild, and the overall ambience, and the armor in the background. It all looks like how I always have imagined a proper fantasy guild to be. Not just a tavern with some quest boards added, but a proud institution that has significance, dignity, and charisma. Of course, the whole scene is kept quite dark, to highlight the dark fantasy aspect of Overlord. The fact that Sebas, who's after all the butler of ainz and one of the top-ranking members, almost goes incognito in this guild and just disappears in the background, illustrates not only that he's trying to stay hidden, but also how vast and detail-oriented the entire world of Overlord is, so that you yourself can get lost in. And the 6th volume really gets into it, aiming to represent Demiurge and his hastily summoned demons from the 5 evil lords as the ultimate apocalyptic power, while ainz, or rather Momon, was somewhat disappointed about the demons simply because they could be defeated so easily. We see Demiurge's troops, like the inhabitants of the New World would do, as hell unleashed. And with that said, let's get into some real danger. Into ainz battle in the 3rd volume, which essentially served as a small semi-finale in the entire series. In this part, ainz fought against Sheltir Bloodfallen, the blood-red Valkyrie, and it becomes clear from the beginning that this battle is extremely difficult for ainz. Sheltir is partially concealed and only shown from behind, in her thick red armor, which makes her appear even more menacing. At the same time, we don't know yet who ainz is actually fighting here. We only see him burning and wearing this strange monk robe, making it unclear why he is in such distress, or why he seemingly doesn't care about the fire. And later we find out that this fire indeed significantly harm ainz, but he doesn't show it to deceive Shaltir, making her think he is weak against holy magic but strong against fire magic, while the opposite is true. This part of the battle is just brilliantly depicted. Also, the illustration of the battle against the frost dragon Ola Sirdar Kaelil makes you want to read the entire book at once. Ainz fight against Platinum, and the illustrations of the Doomlord also look fantastic and just amplifies how epic the conflict is. All three of them are flying through the air, several hundred meters above the ground. But amidst all of this epicness, Sobin still manages to capture some tender and simply beautiful moments in the books. For example, the somewhat conflict-ridden first meeting between Nea Baraya and Shizo Delta. These are small moments amidst all of the epicness for which Overlord is well known, namely character development and world building, which are beautifully portrayed and encapsulated. Furthermore, even small details like Aura being way concealed in the background of the cover art of the volume 15 gives the image a completely new meaning. At first glance, it might appear to be just a wild, uncontrollable beast going on a rampage in the forest, until you notice that Aura seems to be standing behind it, controlling it from deep within the thick forest. Such attention to detail is why Overlord deserves its praise and honestly just a bit more popularity. Finally, I want to talk about one last image, namely the cover art of volume 9 and the march of ainz, along with his Death Knights and Solitaires on the Katz Plain. What an image! I've rarely seen such a brilliant illustration of an undead army as on the cover of volume 9. And of course, the illustrations of the Dark Young are also simply spectacular. This is really something. It encapsulates all of the horror and all of the dread that ainz embodies to the outside world. And with that said, I say thank you very much for watching, and please let me know which of the illustrations and the art from the Overlord novels you like the most and why. And while you do this, I say my special thanks to Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feral Shivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Moreno, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, O'Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Karakos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito 27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenokai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.